Hello, everyone, and welcome back. It is time for our halftime show before we head back into Golden Guardians taking on FlyQuest. Especially since that was a great game. So we're just trying to make the pastime quickly so we can get right into the second game. And for today's segment, this is called Outlandish Claims. You watched Academy? Yes, this is very similar to Hot Takes, but with a couple of twists. Mainly, I'm hoping if I call it Outlandish Claims that I could actually start getting some hotter takes from our casters, because we started taking a cold dip as soon as we got to the later half of Academy. So I want some big outlandish claims to see if how we're feeling about these series are out of this world or just down to earth. And we're just going to laugh and rate them and just make fun of each other. All good?
Yeah, I'm here for it.
All good.
I feel like I've always been delivering on the outlandish claims. Just throwing that out there.
Well, just not on the show, but on Twitter most of the time.
Hey, the Shaden winning more LCS MVPs than Blabber, that was a hot take I had. I'm just throwing that out there. That one's probably worse than the other one. I'm just saying.
C9 fans might come for you too.
No, I have faith in Shaden, man. That guy's really good.
Okay.
All right. And as our special guest, Rooted, I'm especially intrigued with how you're feeling about these outlandish claims that our casters are making, especially since I feel like you could give the most unbiased opinion on how crazy some of the talent is, all right?
You know, I would agree with you, but I've also remembered what my outlandish claim was, and I've also seen the result of game one, so maybe unbiased may be true, but lining up with outlandish is probably also true at that same point. We'll have to get into mine specifically, and you can come back to me for that one, because it is, I'll say, pretty out there.
Well, we might have to either start or end on that one, because of course, with Time of Trains, I couldn't include everybody's, and I didn't include yours, so I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay.
So we'll hit on that verbally. I'm sorry. It definitely wasn't just because I forgot. All right. Here is our first claim coming up. This one is two parts because Deserex always likes to make sure there is a little extra flair to his claim. The PG GGA buff is active. 100A have fallen. Academy can bleed. We find our new Academy saviors in GGA. In Acadian, we trust. All right, man.
All right, I'm just going to assume that he's saying GGA top 4, and that is outlandish. Are we still rating these with Peppers, Sierra? Because that for
no
me,
Peppers. We're gonna go out of this world or down to earth.
Out of this world. I think the GGA with ABO have shown some good looks, but TLA are still the saviors, guys. They those two games yesterday were a bit just a bit one-sided.
A bit. All right. Rooted, how are you feeling about this, considering the game that we just saw as well?
You know, this is, I think, Cubby, you actually hit my outlandish claim right there. I put GGA top 4 for PG, and I just watched that game, and through the entirety of that game, I was like, oh, okay, we're cross-mapping well. We've put gold into the Jinx. Late game is going to be beautiful. And now I'm beefing with Spyrax, because if it wasn't for him, I'd be sitting here smug as all hell, looking like I was an absolute gigabrain with a 1-0 series lead for GGA.
This is the real reason. I'm just trying to make it so you don't embarrass yourself.
Okay. You know, I'm all here to be embarrassed. I'll hold my hands up. If I get something wrong, I get something wrong. That's the part of going for those gigabrain predictions. 90% of the time, you have to be wrong, and you have to suck it up and admit it.
My plan would have worked too if it weren't for you meddling FlyQuest kids.
I know.
Exactly. I mean, I definitely trust that GGA can do some good things. It's just FlyQuest just a little bit more on the ball. Though the series, there's a lot of back and forth, so honestly could have gone either way. On to our next one. And Rooted, this is one I'm particularly intrigued your take on, considering it is including one of our amateur teams. Taco Gaming should be favored versus Immortals Progressive. So if they win, this isn't an upset.
I quite like that take, honestly. This is like not necessarily out of this world. It's within the, we'll say, skyscraper height. It's not like down to earth, because it's still an amateur team beating an academy team, and I think that that's like a hot take on most counts. But Taco, your PGCQ2 summer winners, it's no surprise if they take a series up against Immortals, who not necessarily a struggling academy team, but one that haven't necessarily been to that TLA C9 100 Thieves standard just yet. And I think that Taco have only scaled through, not necessarily, or not just through spring, but through summer as well, a team, an organization with zero backing from any big affiliates, any big organizations. They have done it all from the ground up, and the fact that they were able to win out in summer PGCQ number 2, I think that momentum certainly gives them a real boost. And coming into their match against Immortals at Progressive, it's not started out the best, I don't think, but I'm certainly hoping they can turn it around.
I gotta say, that take from Kelsey is so down to earth. I feel like I should swap my standing desk back to the sitting mode because that is a very cold take, Kelsey. I expect more out of you, our wonderful producer. Mid game from Taco Gaming is actually much stronger than IMT. I'm hoping that IMT can keep leveling up, but I favor Taco Gaming in that matchup.
All right. I like at this point now, Cubby, you seem to be the gatekeeper of what is or isn't considered a hot take, which is, pretty fitting, all things considered. And Genghis had a little bit of his own thoughts on that for his outlandish claim. More so just your recent popularity with your own takes. Leave Twitter, we'll forget about Cubby's JoJo-inspired top 5 tweet within a week.
Yeah, that one's going Astro, man. Twitter will never, ever, ever forget that. Like, if there's anything I've learned, the internet always remembers. And when it's something as controversial as that one, I mean, you pissed off LPL fandom, you pissed off LCK fandom.
No, it's really just LPL fandom.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have the most league on my Twitter feed, but I already got to see a little bit of things thrown your way. Rudu, what about your Twitter space, your Twitter sphere? Have you seen a bunch about Cubby and his takes?
Every 2-3 days or so, there's always just a thing from Cubby that you have to go, okay, why is this now on my feed again? I've been baited by another just interaction farming simulator. And to be fair, he's absolutely hitting large on that one. It speaks really well when it's hitting your Twitter sphere, really, more so than anything else, Sierra. If it's coming across on you and you're like, hold on, how is this league nonsense getting meshed in with all of this stuff? Oh, okay, it's Cubby. It makes a lot of sense. Hitting all the demographics with everybody flaming him for some interesting procedure.
I will say, some backstory on this one.
I don't know if we. I want to hear the backstory, but this might be one that we have to come back to if we're going to make it through all of our claims.
All right, you know what? We play the long game.
Right.
We play the long game. Wait till
All right. Well, Rafa's not a fan of any games whatsoever here with his own outlandish claim. Pokemon fell off after Gen 4.
True.
I thought we weren't going to show that one. I can't believe we full sent it. Oh man.
Sierra, thoughts?
We might have to have a couple of words here, Rafa. We might have to. I might have to settle this one outside of broadcast because for a multitude of reasons, being this is a league broadcast and not a Pokemon broadcast. So we'll move on into our league-inspired stuff. Going on into our next one, Joshi, to wrap it around full circle. More than half of EG Prodigies will be on Academy team next split.
Okay,
aggressively cold take.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
This one's interesting to me.
More than half.
Yeah, because I this is a great take. This is really good because I could see 2 or 3 members from EGP going up. I am really excited about Faisal. I think Faisal has proven that he is an academy level top laner. Yukino is one of the more exciting prospects we have given his performance in Proving Grounds, plus especially Champs Queue. I'm very high on Mia. I think that Mia is someone that, if she really wants to pursue this, I believe she can perform at an academy level. But I think that's where the interesting part is, whether or not Mia wants to pursue that path to pro or not. I really think that Mia's highs are very high, and I hope she does. I think she's a very, very talented player. Challenger in all 5 roles, very impressive. And then Doxa Donbre, they have reasonable cases themselves. So I like the stake from Josh. Really like it, yeah.
Now, but where do you say, out of this world or on Earth?
tallest building on the planet. That's about where it's at, you know.
Okay.
I mean, Rudy, you're saying that this is an aggressively cold take. Give me a little for that.
Yeah, I'm quite high on the EGP squad. I really think that their whole top side could quite easily get promoted to Academy for next bit. I'm really quite high on Doxa. We touched on Faisal and Yukino as their up-and-coming prospects. Faisal has been in the amateur scene for the entirety of 2022 and has been absolutely bodying pretty much the entire space. There's been very few instances where I thought, wow, Faisal, oh, maybe this was a bit of the wrong play, but he's exhibited strong side and weak side. Really has done a very good job at playing the likes of having to sit back on tanks, but then also in the new meta that we've got, playing a lot of Olaf in the top lane. That's been pretty much getting perm banned against him. Yukino, like we said, very good up-and-coming prospect in the jungle, and I really do rate Doxa as a mid laner. The Doxa diff is real.
The diff is real.
Pepe D.
I love that. Now, this is a diff that I don't know if everyone will agree with, but it's definitely out there. Of course, our last outlandish claim is going to be from Mad Magical. FlyQuest is going to win PG this year. Neither TLA nor 100A will be in the final.
Mad Magical understood the assignment.
Yeah. I will say this. You know, the first half, it's like, oh, we're about to break orbit, but you know, it's not like that out there. As soon as you say neither TLA, I don't even care if you put 100 Thieves Academy in the final or not. If you don't put TLA in the final, you're trolling. Like you're straight up trolling. There have to be so many disastrous things on Team Liquid sides of things. Like Froggen would have to come in and hack the servers over at TLA's camp in order to make TLA lose at this point.
It's something, that is for sure. I mean, considering how FlyQuest were playing and seeing a couple of the pop-off plays that were happening later in the game, I was specifically talking about the game-winning play right at the end before taking GGA down. There's definitely some good highlights. A 2-0 over for GGA would definitely be their first step towards taking PG down and heading into Champ Select. Time to see if they can maybe do just that. I'll catch you two later.
Yeah, we're going to have to talk to Mad Magical about that one. I mean, like, I like FlyQuest being in the final, but Team Liquid not being the...
You know what the take that I submitted that didn't make it?
Are you okay to share it?
Yes.
Okay, what was it?
It was when Canadians say sorry, they don't always mean it.
A little jab at our host Sierra and all of our Canadian talent on the broadcast as well. Shout outs to Beatdown and Ravish. Oh,
would have been a fun one.
That definitely would have banged for sure. But Golden Guardians Academy, on the flip side, they ban out the Spyrax's Yasuo, saying, all right, you know what, we respect the matchup, and it's time to go for the late game anyway. Azir blind pick, respond with Talia and potentially Aphelios once again.
Well, we will see what ends up happening for the rest of this draft. FlyQuest keeping it similar on this side, but I do have to say, Ablazeolive Azir was very, very sound, not only in LCS, but also against EGP, as did help take down Doxa and friends in that game. And we'll see if Ablazeolive, I thought Ablazeolive was really good in the last game. It was mostly just great mechanical plays from FlyQuest in the later stages that helped them overcome GGA, especially Spyrax. If you missed game one, and you missed the Yasuo highlight, go follow at Path to LCS on Twitter, go follow at FlyQuest on Twitter, and go follow at Spyrax141 on Twitter as well, as he deserves it. But oh my,
yeah,
we are going in this
Vi.
game.
Wait, you have the rhyme there. Oh my, here comes Vi.
Well,
right. It's okay.
Yeah, it's fine. This is curious because when I see Vi Azir, I see a mid lane that really wants to be attacked. FlyQuest are sitting on this Talia. Do they take a mid laner that might be a little bit safer into that combo from GGA? Or do they put Talia mid and they're keeping things flexible on the side of FlyQuest, taking this Yone?
Right, because either Spyrax or Kumo could play this Yone. So the fact that FlyQuest Academy are still able to continue on this draft while holding all their cards secret from Golden Guardians Academy means that they have plenty of directions to go to. If they feel comfortable putting this Yone into the mid lane for Spyrax, or if they want to see and react to a pick that Concept has on the second side of the draft.
Curious if we see a Gnar ban or not, as Kumo has liked that Yone and Gnar. We've seen it from both him and Spyrax. But a Gnar ban could tell us if that Yone might be going top or mid. I think if they leave it up, odds of it going top are a little bit higher. And you can see GGA, they're posturing to take that Gnar. as that Gwen ban tells me. Definitely something that Concept is considering again. I think Concept played well on the Gnar. Did get solo killed the one time, but was pretty solid in some of the fights. So we will see if that ends up being the case. As Born actually taken away. So they are leaving that Gnar up.
One more ban from the side of Golden Guardians Academy. Interesting thing for Academy. I'm very positive this is our first Vi in Academy, but now that Cubby is working over an LCK on some shows, I know you guys see Vi all the time. A self-Gnar.
We did see Tomio play Vi once while you were in Singapore, but that's about it. I think Tomio is the only person that's taken it out.
Damn.
So close, but no cigar. I do really like the Tahm Kench. You deny that from the Jinx. Also have someone to eat when they do get Vi ulted. I think not banning that from GGA, a bit of a surprise, but I did feel like they wanted to take away Kumo's. Gnar, really like the TK lock in here.
What other supports could you go for if you're hustling? They went for the Leona last time.
Yeah.
Concept lining up a Sejuani in the top lane. This is still technically a blind pick because we don't know whether this is Yone for Kumo or something else for Kumo.
I would like this. This is really good. Blitzcrank, I'm a huge fan of Blitz. He's been seeing small buffs. You get to take out the shields. Everyone's immobile on the side of FlyQuest minus the Yone. I would love the Blitz. Instead, might be that Braum. Sejuani Braum is a solid combo in terms of getting a lot of stuns and peeling for the Jinx in the fights. So it will be that handshake. That is Hustlin's most played in his career. Base Braum enjoyer.
Former number 1 Braum on my...
According to a third-party website,
my left.
Potentially. Yeah.
I will say, though, for Golden Guardians Academy, depending on what the last pickup for FlyQuest is here,
I like it.
We haven't seen too many level 1 shenanigans here, but, I mean, in terms of level 1 power plays, Braum Sejuani. Now, that's spicy if you want to go for an invade.
FlyQuest rounding things out with the Aatrox. Very good in isolation for that lane matchup. And I think for FlyQuest, this actually gives them a bit of a mid-early game spiking comp. I like the scaling of GGA with that Azir, with that Jinx. Again, the team fight should be very sound for them. We'll see if Spyrax can pop off again on the brother of Yasuo, the Bash Bro. You had one in the last game, another one in this one. Turn up with UG again. But I think early pathing, I know you pointed out the Braum early. I actually want to see if FlyQuest do something. Vi, very weak early levels. Taliyah, not so much. Your level 1 is absurdly strong with the Rock. So I'm curious to see any level 1s coming out from FlyQuest.
Would you want to attack through the bottom side of the map, though, where there's a Braum? Or do you feel confident enough with, like, Tahm Kench and Aphelios that you can take the 3v3 there?
Well, I mean, if we're getting really spicy, you could just 5-man at level 1.
I think the
5-man with Aatrox.
I'm hoping we get 5-man.
Yeah.
Dude, just like full send it. But all right. Well, we're going to see if we're going to see some 5-man shenanigans or if we're just going to see some level 5 fans. But of course, both of these teams are not disappointing in the gameplay as we already saw from game 1. So game 2, it's time to see what goes down.
I think the big thing for Golden Guardians in this one, I think they played the last game very well. I think the thing that really hurt them was that first topside skirmish. They lost the 4v3. It was the right call to go in. They had numbers. Just got out-handsed by FlyQuest in that fight and the last fight. So I think for Golden Guardians, if they have a similar game, I could easily see them pushing this to a third. I really like their team fight comp. I think it's easy to execute as this game goes on. But, Rafa, they have to get there.
And for Golden Guardians Academy, one of the foundations that allowed them to stay relevant in the game for so long was putting a lot of gold into Array's Jinx. I mean, he did so well with the resources given. And I think the other thing that Array and the rest of GGA can look to do is if they get another advantage through him, this time around, there's more defensive utilities on the side of GGA that can actually play and pull for Jinx this time around.
I know Array, again, feels like he's scaling into the split. Talking with Array said, I had to get used to playing in Academy, get used to living in LA. Had to get used to how, these teams play for objectives. But Array feels like he's really learned a lot this split and is starting to come into his own. I think his play speaks for itself
Yeah.
in that case. And we'll see if Array can put up another big game in this one, as he really did play well on the Jinx in the last game. It was just that one last fight where Spyrax found the humongous outplay that put FlyQuest over the top. Ooh. The wicks were strong there, Ralph. Hustlin's at half.
Yeah. You got to be careful about melee into Tahm Kench matchup. I know the Braum pickup will give a lot of protective abilities for Array to be able to peel back in this fight. But so far in the matchup, got to be careful whenever you're going up against the Tahm Kench. I want to look at the jungle pathing for this game as a Blaze Olive getting that priority early on, finds out that UG has already cleared Raptors, assuming that they are both pathing towards the bottom side of the map. Even though you noted before, Akaadian on Vi, it is relatively weak. She does have, for a melee champion, one of the faster clear speeds of most bruiser junglers, and allows her to match UG's timer on Taliyah.
And skipping over that Raptor camp, we'll hide a little bit of information from FlyQuest. So UG should be able to clear out all the camps before Crab spawns. That will grant Taliyah level 4 with bot lane priority for FlyQuest. Gotta imagine that bot Crab will go over in favor of UG.
Oh, look at this. Akaadian doing red buff and skipping both the Raptors and the Krugs. He just wants to be here and catch UG out as he comes right out of the blue buff. He's waiting for it. Oh, but he already using those daunting blows and the vaulting onto the Crab. So UG has a little bit of a spell advantage right now. And range, he can kite him out. Spyrax, does he want to climb on over towards this skirmish? Akaadian has to back off for now. And UG, because he knows that he didn't take the Raptor camp, is now going to get a little bit of a counter jungling advantage.
Do really like this from UG. He will get top Crab as well. Should be able to rotate out his camps nicely. So Akaadian able to just barely make sure that that Crab went over to himself. But UG, talk about the early clear and power of Taliyah, able to cash in a little bit.
Yeah, it seems a little disappointing for Akaadian. I thought that he was waiting for UG to come out, but maybe just misread the timer, got a little impatient and decided to use his spells on the Crab, and as soon as UG emerged, it was just slight timing. And now UG has an advantage. He knows that Akaadian had to path towards the bottom side of the map. This wave is a little tough for Kumo right now, so UG might be forced to come through the lane, but there's no minions to absorb the turret aggro, and Kumo is way too low.
That's a really nice play from Concept. I mean, this wave dies in front of Kumo. He can't step up, just hit the level. That prevents the dive going over onto Concept too. So honestly, a really big play from Concept. Burning the Ignite, chunking Kumo out. That saved his life and saved UG from, getting ahead and starting to snowball into this game.
Yeah. That could have been so disastrous. Both you and I were seeing the pieces line up for FlyQuest. Being able to match Akaadian in the river, the snowball effect. We've seen it from UG time and time again, but Concept being able to defuse that means that the game is still at an even state for now.
UG's yet to base, is very far ahead in the clear speed. We will see if UG decides to ramp up all the camps before he goes back to buy, as that will take UG off the map again. That will be a reset before he crosses. So I will say for Golden Guardians, we did talk about the early game, early composition. I think that how things have gone for the first few levels really favors them. There's been no play, no dive attempt from this Taliyah. Vi is behind, but is still on her way to 6. And meanwhile, FlyQuest bot lane.
They have purple guns, so Tomo can lock him down for additional damage. Ignite was already used onto Array. But no Summoner's Burn from the side of Golden Guardians Academy. So holding their cool. It does chunk out Array to sub 50% HP. And look at that. Hustling. Not taking or wasting any chances to look for a play on Atomo. That's the immediate flash burn. UG spots Akaadian. Akaadian's going to be able to get out safely, but cannot follow up on any potential 3v2s onto the bot lane.
I want to see UG try and play for this Raptor camp. It's about to respawn. He has a level up on Akaadian, has mid push from Spyrax. I think that with bot lane, they could push out right now and help UG take Raptor respawn. It's a lot of experience that could be denied from Vi and put in the pockets of Taliyah.
Diamond's already moving forward, just making sure that UG is assisted here. Spyrax trading aggressively with a Blaze Olive so that he can make sure that a Blaze Olive doesn't rotate on down, but it looks like UG was pushed off of some of the Raptors. Akaadian's able to bully him away from it.
And part of that was Concept. When you get push on the Sejuani lane, oftentimes we see the Sejuanis roam towards mid. You can try and look for a play with the Glacial Prison. I think Concept not showing on that wave actually helped force Yuji out of the jungle on the side of Golden Guardians. But meanwhile, Spirax still looking for plays here.
He is level 6, and that forces out the... Oh, that's a lot of damage. I didn't expect Spirax to pull the trigger with his ultimate as well once he was under the tower, but it's just a trade of damage, and I assume that both of these mid laners are going to be looking for a reset soon.
Well played from ABO, though. Did not have to burn the flash and dodged out of the gank from Yuji. So again, Golden Guardians dissuading these early looks from FlyQuest. We really like their team fight composition. I think after 2-3 items, that's really when Azir plus Jinx will take off with his big, beefy front line. And FlyQuest will start running a little bit low on damage, especially in the team fight. So even game, I think, really benefits Golden Guardians. And I want to see if FlyQuest can try and find a good setup around this Rift Herald.
Spawning in the next 30 seconds here right now. Kumo sub or slightly behind in the health department versus Concept. Push advantage on his side. Yuji is clearing camps from top towards bottom, but he could stop his clearing path if he wants to make sure that he is here for the Rift Herald. But the way that things are shaking up, there's an advantage here for Golden Guardians to get Rift Herald here.
Good call, Rafa. I like the look, as we'll see if Acadian ends up heading for the Rift. I will say the one saving grace on the side of FlyQuest. They did take that Scuttle Crab, so maybe that's enough to dissuade Acadian from using this timer, as Yuji looking to clear out the bot side camps. And still, again, I think no action does really benefit GGA. And GGA, it's been a sound early game from them. They, have lanes that aren't exactly winning, but they've been able to go even. And as this game moves on, it's going to be really big. Getting Azir Jinx to that later stages of the game. Saw what Array could do last time around. So we can do this time, as Golden Guardians utilizing that bot push, rotating up, trying to support the Herald take here from Acadian.
Yeah, just making sure that in case Yuji decided to pull something fancy with the Weaver's Wall and look to steal it away from Acadian, they're investing all 5 members around the Rift Herald, guaranteeing the local gold as well as that objective for themselves. FlyQuest, they don't have to split everyone up off the map. They can just send 2 for the Dragon.
I really want to see FlyQuest now play from the bot side camps of Acadian. Try and take those away. Something we've seen as a response for the Rift play and bot moving first is actually going into the enemy jungle and trying to cut them off as they rotate back. And FlyQuest, not agreeing for the handshake. I actually think they went out of the play. You get Aphelios 3 plates solo, you take a Dragon. So I think it is a nice punish here for FlyQuest. And that move from Array, it's expensive. Look at how far down he is now in CS.
Yeah, losing 3 plates and losing all those waves while he moved up towards the Rift Herald side of the fight. It already amounts down to 1,000 gold deficit for himself. And we know that Golden Guardians Academy did so well because Array was ahead of the matchup in the first game.
See if FlyQuest can try and snowball in and punish. Again, the one saving grace, Acadian is able to get access to his bot side camps. That is a punish that FlyQuest could have looked for. Not going to be the case, though. 3 plates on Tomo does feel very good, as Tomo, with that base, has a big item advantage bot. And I want to see if FlyQuest can use that, take away the health bars of Golden Guardians and try and make a play with this Weaver's Wall onto the Jinx and the Braum.
Right now, sitting in Spirex's back pocket at the moment, making sure that Spirex can get a push in, is pathing towards the top side of the map, so it doesn't seem like we'll see any plays in favor of FlyQuest on the bottom side. Acadian is hovering, though. It is very difficult to gank against the Tahm Kench with Vi. Your one saving grace as Vi is that you get the point-and-click ulti, but then that gets denied anytime you try to go up against either Morgana lanes or Tahm Kench lanes.
Still for FlyQuest. This 1k gold lead, it's all built on this bot lane. And I think the response for Golden Guardians, really curious to see where they drop this Rift Herald. As it could just be a drop mid to funnel Azir some gold, take some points away from the mid outer. I think that might be the best play for Acadian. Because I don't think if they drop it bot, they don't really get anything. Aphelios is too far ahead at the moment. So see what the plan is for Acadian as they try and answer that small gold lead for FlyQuest with the Herald they have in their pockets.
Yeah, I can understand that play. It's hard to even out the disparity that has already been created on the bottom side of the map. So try to advantage or leverage a disparity that is already blooming, whether it's in this mid lane or if it's in the top lane.
And you can see, looks like we have a cross map. Hustlin has made his way all the way up to the top lane. Acadian, here we go.
Ball breaker. Does he look for the flash as well? But they already got the flash out of Kumo, but Acadian flashes in so he can get the range for that ultimate. Sultan Battery comes out, and the rest of the follow-up is there from Golden Guardians Academy. It's first blood for Acadian.
Trade of resources, though, as Array is forced off that bot turret, and it will be plates being farmed and by FlyQuest in 2 lanes. So I think Golden Guardians do get first brick. Array forced to shift mid. We'll see if UG and Spyrax try a dive.
With the...
Look mid, look mid.
Yeah, okay.
Oh,
Array,
nice flash.
good flash. Spyrax has to go back.
Array.
UG and Diamond, can they assist on the play? But Concept is here just to make sure that Array doesn't get dove even further. And it looks like the first brick did go over to Golden Guardians Academy, but Tomo's able to equalize on the bottom side of the map. We have a skirmish here happening in the mid lane. Array doesn't have flash anymore, but Diamond is left all alone.
3B.
And he can't get out of this one. 3v3. UG and Spyrax are forced to retreat.
I gotta say, that's huge for Golden Guardians because they were able to take 2 bricks on the top side, and Array also got some gold getting that kill on the back half. So that huge advantage, putting that gold in the right spot for FlyQuest on Tomo, it's answered back really nicely by Golden Guardians. And again, as this game moves forward, we like the simplicity of this team fight composition, their ability to front to back with Jinx, with Azir, and this beefy front line that Golden Guardians has. The fact they have a gold lead now, I think is really critical and damaging for FlyQuest their hopes in this game.
Yeah, Far Cry. Oh, the cinematic. Here we go. Look at this. Oh, what a treat.
Yeah.
Love our Observer team.
Yeah, I also love the Braum skin. I gotta say, I am Dragon Slayer Braum enjoyer, but I can always stand for a nice Pop-Tart. You know,
is that what it's called? Pop-Tart Braum?
No,
what's
well, the shield for me looks like a Pop-Tart if we look at Hustling.
Well, now I know what to get you next time for a wake-up call.
You are the worst, but also the best. As Hustling, you know, trying to hustle to get his sugar fix in for breakfast. As, hey, he hustled at the top side, able to get his team a small win, and Golden Guardians in a slower game. That trade is really big for them. All the focus now for FlyQuest, it's got to be on Tomo.
Tomo leading the pack right now with that Gale Force, but because of the gold that Array picked up off of the kill and dodging out, he still hasn't even backed yet, but they're still fighting. Array has been chunked out. Tomo with the long-range gun on the green is able to silo him out. Tomo saw that Array was the focus in game 1. It's this time he is stepping up to the plate and showing why he can also be trusted with resources.
And Tomo, this Aphelios for him this split after that last game. It's 8-2. It's his most played. And him with all the gold was huge in that fight. He's looking to answer back on Akumo, but Tomo pumps damage. 2
ultis out of Vi and Concept here. Tomo, can he fire back? He's flashing away the damage. Oh, but the stun from Concept. And now it's an immediate turnaround onto Spyrax, forcing him away. He can't get a range of Acadian. It's a second dragon off the back end for FlyQuest, but good looks from Acadian Concept shutting down Tomo.
Yeah, Permafrost, huge there. That's what enabled them to turn the play around as Concept. That's the Ignite. Spyrax wins this, though.
What if the rest of the team shows up coming?
That's why you hit the wave.
There you go.
Spyrax showing some of that respect to Golden Guardians. Definitely something that he really wanted to show in this series again. Blaze Olive subbing in late. Spyrax, you know, that 6-0 Week 7 was a big boon for FlyQuest. But Spyrax said, you know what? We watched 100 Thieves Academy go down yesterday. We got to pay nothing but respect to our opponents. As FlyQuest doing that here, and Tomo stepping up huge. That gold lead he had onto Array. He one-taps him solo as the Aphelios, and that was the big difference in the skirmish.
Yeah, just knowing that Array had burned the flash in the skirmish beforehand, and the fact that Array hadn't gotten a chance to recall with all the money that he was sitting on after the kill that he picked up as well. Huge discrepancy in power. Tomo knowing how to flex his limits there. This part, though, Golden Guardians Academy being able to lock up Kumo under the tower, and the CC control. I mean, this is why marksmen sometimes hate their role as well. You have all this damage, but then you're dealing with 2 beefy bruisers and frontliners that just CC you to death.
And FlyQuest, that gold lead that Golden Guardians had off the double rift play in the top side, cut into that a little bit. It's a 1k gold diff, and with some of the stronger dragons that we have, another very even game coming out of this early game, Rafa.
The rest of FlyQuest are now well beyond early game. But look at the gold discrepancy that Tomo being able to step up despite going down to Acadian Concept, picking up the kill onto Array. He's extended that to 2,000, and Golden Guardians recognize we got to shut this Aphelios down, so we're going to support everything. Big. But Diamond is there. Abyssal dive on the other side and gets him out with the Devour. Huge shield for Tomo, and now the rest of FlyQuest is here, ready to play. Acadian locked up on the other side of the wall, goes for the wall break, trying to get out, but here comes Spyrax, and will seal the fate of the members of Golden Guardians Academy. Concept has been locked up with Hustlin. Talia on the back end. It's UG. Seismic shove into the unraveled earth, being able to bring them all together. 3 down in favor of FlyQuest.
And it was the big play on the Yasuo from Spyrax in the last one. And this time, the brother, the Yone, still able to find 3 with the knock-up, the ult. Spyrax turning that fight around along with Diamond. That Tahm Kench value really saw it shine in that one as Tomo was saved. FlyQuest turn it, and now this game's in their favor.
2,000 gold lead for FlyQuest, but it still feels like the momentum has been driven up massively for the boys in green. The rest of this FlyQuest squad taking this time to push in a couple side waves, and the next 2 dragons this time around are in FlyQuest's favor because they're the ones leading in that Seoul WinCon.
And again, huge for FlyQuest, because as we move throughout this game, we like the simplicity of Golden Guardians teamfight comp. A Blaze Olive is huge, but he's not here at the start of the fight. He's the one that has the big gold lead in favor of Golden Guardians. With him not being here, having the TP in, that kind of enables FlyQuest to eat Tomo, burn a lot of the ults that were burned to try and get Tomo down, and then Spyrax, 3-man ult into a 3-man knockup from the Yone. I mean, what a series from Spyrax. Again, second split of Academy, coming out of Collegiate. He's doing this against a Blaze Olive, and yes, he was put behind in the lane phase thanks to some good play from Golden Guardians, but his ability to step up in these team fights, this player that we praise for being so flexible with his champ pool, no matter what he grabs, he always seems to find an impact on this game, and even being behind in the laning phase, Spyrax still comes up big for FlyQuest.
Yeah, he hadn't even completed a Mythic yet. Everyone else on the field had except for him. Or at least the first full item. Well, he's got one now. He's cashed in. Go. And Spyrax still has Fate Seal to always contribute to a fight, and it was a massive one at that. FlyQuest now hammering home the advantage. They take out some camps on the top side of the map, leading their way now back over to the Dragon, which will begin in 40 seconds.
I know all eyes we've really put on Tomo, given the gold lead that he has, but also now Yuji. 3-0-2 and the only magic damage threat on the side of FlyQuest. That's big. We'll see if Yuji can step up and be the carry on a mage. Again, Yuji known for his Viego, his Lee Sin, some of the bruisers, but his Talia has been very sound in this series in both games. Is now hunting for the LCS player in ABO.
And Blaze Olive has to be careful about when he uses the shifting stance, because it's like that! The unraveled earth will stop him in his tracks. Nowhere to go. Yuji reads him like a book, and with a mid laner gone from GGA, this dragon surely belongs to FlyQuest.
Man, we praised Yuji's improvements when it comes to playing the map, but he's still that raw mechanical talent too, showing it there against ABO as that unraveled earth stopped Azir in its tracks. No Phoenix able to fly. See if ABO can spawn, come back in this one, but it's Soul Point going over to FlyQuest, and this mid game for them has been fantastic.
Incredible bounce back after the game one where Golden Guardians had been pulling FlyQuest around.
Yeah.
In probably a very unexpected way and fashion, but it seems like FlyQuest have rebalanced themselves, recomposed themselves, given the respect that Golden Guardians Academy deserved, and now playing around those conditions, around those certain players from the side of Golden Guardians Academy. And this time around, it seems like they have a better grasp on how to play the mid game.
And, I mean, we got to see if GGA can step up here, because that game one was back and forth. We felt like it was in GGA's favor for quite a bit of it, Rafa. But now, I mean, they're staring down at O2, staring down a lower bracket run. FlyQuest has been so sound, picking up where they left off week 7.
We see a fight here. Vision control in favor of Golden Guardians. FlyQuest leaping forward here with Kumo. But it's stopped in his tracks. Ooh, double ultimates from Golden Guardians. It's just a flash from Diamond, is able to reposition safely. Kumo has the Darken Blade, getting some knockups down into Concept. He's forced to Arctic Assault away. Kumo going in, one more cast. Here comes the Moonlight Vigil. Tomo locks down a couple more, and they're pursuing the hunt here. Blaze Olive, does he have an angle to save the game here? Array has to be kept alive. Can he put out the damage? But FlyQuest are just demolishing Golden Guardians Academy before the rest of them can save the game. Blaze Olive, good Emperor's Divide, pushes them back. Spyrex blinking on HP, but you still got to worry about Yuji on the right side. The walls are closing in, Cubby, all around a Blaze Olive. No one's getting out alive except Array, but he's fled back to the base, and the rest of FlyQuest can regroup for Baron.
We'll see if they end up pulling the trigger. It's only one alive. Array does have the ult, but again, that setup from FlyQuest. The value from the Tahm Kench, she flashed 2 ultimates. That's all that FlyQuest needed to turn that fight around.
6-0-4 on the Taliyah now. We gave him a little bit of praise during the pre-show, and you already piped him up. I mean, this is when Yuji is on his game, and it just feels like no one can stop him. This Baron being taken over by FlyQuest, 1 dragon away. Akaini can't even get there in time to stop anyone and catch a straggler out. It's a 6,000 gold advantage for FlyQuest. I mean, this is very close for FlyQuest being able to close out the game now.
Prophet Rafa, the UG MVP vote in the spring, paying off here big in summer. Oh boy.
Oh my God.
Oh my.
Okay,
what?
Tomo. I mean, we know red, white, don't fight, but Blaze Olive had no vision in the bush, so Tomo coming out in a very spooky Aphelios on the back end. Gale Force executes him, and the rest of Golden Guardians Academy. The damage, it's all down to Array, but Array has been decelerated. He's been put behind, so he doesn't have the necessary damage to be the janitor to clean up these fights. They're put on the back foot. Looking for a re-engage onto Juji and Kumo, but good devour from Diamond. Keeps Yuji safe. Spyrex finds Array into the heart of the backline with a great fate sealed. Seals his fate on the back end. FlyQuest able to now push in. They've got the Baron buff, and they've got the man advantage. Maybe they'll take more than inhibitor. Maybe they'll just look to close out the game.
And for FlyQuest, that early game, the Herald play from GGA, the gold was sound, but yeah, it was a lead for GGA, but where did all the resources go for FlyQuest? It went into Tomo, and he's done nothing but deliver in this one, Rafa.
Yuji trying to see if he can escape out of this one. Oh, doesn't have flash. Wait a minute. Golden Guardians Academy. They're full sending it on this one. They have to look and flip for an opportunity, but Kumo has recalled, and he's come back with a full bar of health, baby. He's looking to re-change the fight as he's now pushing forward. Weaver's Wall cuts off a couple of members here. Acadian separated. The rest of FlyQuest, you know, maybe they're pushing their luck a little bit too far, and the minions are not coming in fast enough, and the recalls are coming in.
Okay, FlyQuest, they still walk out with an inhibitor in their favor, and also get to reset a minute before Hextech Soul is available to them, Rafa. As FlyQuest, you know, we said it in draft. They drafted a mid-game comp. They have hit that stride like no other, Rafa. It's really helped them, you know, take this early lead that Golden Guardians had, turn it in their favor as... Oh, hold on.
Oh, Acadian, this might not be the bush that you were looking for. Yuji and Kumo route him out. No jungler to be had for the next 24 seconds.
Spyrax.
Dragon will spawn, and good God, Spyrax. He had a highlight reel performance on the Oswald. Saw that Tomo and Yuji were living it up and says, okay, guys, I need some kills. I need to pad my resume for the LCS next season as the rest of FlyQuest start to completely conquer the rest of Golden Guardians members. Blaze Olive is trying to dance around them. He's buying as much time as he can. It's taken a while, but FlyQuest finally take him down. And I see 2 Nexus turrets in the sights of FlyQuest. I see a Nexus in their scope as well. They're looking to close out this series.
I gotta say, you could take the free soul, but they're trying to save Steve the minion so they can hit the Nexus turrets. It's not quite enough as the supers are coming in, but FlyQuest, they want to end this one now.
2 Nexus turrets a fall. Acadian Array, one last stand could be the chance to try and come back. But I think we know the result of this one. Hold up. It's getting a little difficult for them to take out the Nexus turret. Tomo's been set up under tower. Should make a death rocket. It's just a clutch stopwatch from Tomo, but he still goes on to Concept. This game isn't over, Cubby. We're in for a long one as the rest of Golden Guardians will push FlyQuest out, and Array cashes in on a couple kills.
2 big shutdowns and no soul going over to FlyQuest. They tried to end, but it was early. They could have taken the free soul, gotten the clean reset, set up for Baron. FlyQuest playing a little bit too fast for their britches. GG punish.
Spyrax He's healing on up with red buff, but Kumo is so low, and Yuji can't solo with threats like a Blaze Olive and Array still on the map. Oh man, Golden Guardians, I mean, they're thinking their stars. FlyQuest, as you called it, may have pushed a little too fast. The game has been expended.
And when you're behind on Vi, it's a one-way trip, but I think the really critical part, Array, untouched behind the Braum Shield, and that ult from Concept. There's no Devour, no Cleanse on Array, or on Tomo, and Array just able to shred them as Concept. We praised him as someone that's been really big for Golden Guardians the back half of this split. That Glacial Prison might have saved their presence in the winner's bracket.
FlyQuest now setting up on the top side of the map, though. They are looking
Still
to
doubtful.
take control. I mean, it's going to be tough. Golden Guardians got one lucky break. Can they make the most out of it, or will FlyQuest look to still lead and close out this game? Hitting this turret, Weaver's wall is great. A Blaze Olive has been cut off from the rest of the members. He jumps over the wall. Kumo looks to punish. Acadian doesn't go down quite yet and looks for the Vault Breaker right back in. Concept with the Glacial Prison. That's two members almost going down. Diamond almost biting the bus.
It missed.
But Tomo, can he look to clean this one up? A Blaze Olive looks for the Shurima Shuffle, but great Devour. Tomo, can he stay alive? It's a 1v3 against 3. Tomo looking for the damage, but it's Array that still cleans it on up. FlyQuest get ace in the back half of this game.
All right, game 1 was kind of a certified banger. Game 2's trying to hang with it as the fights for FlyQuest, they've been so clean in this one, but that time around, the ults didn't connect. And Golden Guardians, again, this is a comp that gets stronger throughout the game. Array, ABO were able to shred in the back half.
And the way that the Weaver's wall connected, Acadian, it looks like he's charging up the punch
This is
to
so
get
clutch
out.
from Acadian.
But then he looks to go right on back.
Wow.
No hesitation, connecting onto the back line. Oh my god.
It was, I don't know if Diamond had Devour up or not, but that ult that Concept hit onto Diamond plus the Vault Breaker from Vi, that's actually what enabled them to kill Aatrox and turn that fight around. As I mean, Tomo is still just massive, guys. It's 4 items and a Bloodthirster now for this Aphelios. So, again, I think things are still grim for Golden Guardians, but at least you have an Infinity Edge on Array now. I mean, that does give you a fighting chance.
I mean, Golden Guardians were approaching a 10,000 gold deficit. It's now only 7,000, close to 6,000. So they've closed the gold gap, and Array is catching up in items. And yes, Tomo, 4 items of 3 items on Jinx, but still can do massive work if Tomo's taken out early.
Ooh. Nice dash over the wall there from Kumo. Garen started. That's risky against an Azir Jinx, guys.
Acadian doesn't have flash, would have to look for a Vault Breaker to get in over the pit. Kumo trying to buy time, make up for what happened last game. Array gets one huge reset, Super Mega Death Rocket. That's one frontliner down. Spyrex looking for the Fate Seal to reposition. Tomo takes out a Blaze Olive on the trade.
Watch Array.
Array still cleaning up. This is where Array lives. This is where Array gets the shine. A triple kill. They are looking to push forward onto FlyQuest Academy.
No way.
It's not the Quadrant. The shutdown over for Hustlin. But man, oh man, Golden Guardians Academy through thick and thin are persevering.
I mean, what is happening with FlyQuest? That Nexus push. They could have gotten a soul for free, but they went for the end. Golden Guardians punished to get gold on their carries in this late game team fighting comp. The ease of execution. FlyQuest is giving them the fights on their terms by starting up the Baron, and it might have cost them the game.
Yeah, 10 seconds on Diamond, but he's not enough to stall out 4 members from Golden Guardians Academy. If they protect this wave and they start hitting the Nexus turrets, it's all but over. Kumo's also up. He's going to have to look for redemption. World Ender not available quite yet. Flashing the Glacial Prison from Concept. Diamond has a Devour. He's going to give him back a shield. You got to throw everything in there. Spyrax is also back up. Is Fate Sealed available? He can look for the back line here. Golden Guardians Academy, but huge 3-man ulti from Spyrax. Can he get the damage down? Array still untouched to the back line, but finally Tomo comes through, and the damage is there for FlyQuest. The gleaning hope from Golden Guardians Academy is dashed away as FlyQuest finally clean things up, and they will end the game.
Not even close, baby. Open Nexus. Who cares? It was all bait for FlyQuest. They just wanted to make this one a certified banger. As, man, what a series. Back and forth as both teams had a chance to honestly take a 2-0 here. But FlyQuest, they're the ones that hold strong. And I gotta say, the performance from Tomo in Game 2, but Spyrax in both games as well, Rafa, was phenomenal. We had to make it interesting, you know?
Oh man, what I find interesting is that even in a game where FlyQuest had everything ready to close out, it still took Spyrax finding a 3-man ulti to close out the game for FlyQuest. It's just ironic. But, many good looks for FlyQuest members. You already hit on Spyrax in both games of this series. Tomo stepping up huge when he was given the resources, showing why you can trust him. Yuji as well, having a great game. I think for Golden Guardians Academy on the flip side, while this loss does put them into the lower bracket, I think this is no longer the 10th place Academy team that we were looking at that was struggling throughout the Academy split. I'm very much in the same camp with you that Blazolov and Hustlin is bringing a sense of coordination to the team that was very much needed throughout the entire split.
They were surging with Leader and Prismal as well, but it's good to see Hustlin and ABO definitely have slightly different pools, especially in the mid lane, but Blazolov is going to be scary in this tournament. And I think when you have someone that is willing to step up and make the plays that a Blazolov is always willing to make, and then you put Array as the janitor behind that, I think Golden Guardians is a team to be scared of in the lower bracket. See what they can do there. But, man, we got to celebrate that FlyQuest win. Really looking forward to talking to one of their members.
Absolutely. And, of course, Sierra will have the pleasure of doing so on behalf of us. But before we get to that interview point, we gotta cool down. We gotta recharge the batteries because 2 back-to-back very, very bloody games between them definitely means that we need a break. So we'll see you in a few minutes.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Verizon post-game interview. I'm sitting down with Tomo after that 2-0 victory, though the ending of that second game definitely had all of us holding our breaths. Take me through what the comms were like, what you were thinking, because that was insane.
Yeah, honestly, I was a bit stressed. I think we should have ended the game like 10 minutes ago in their Nexus, but we kind of had some fun. I think like they typed GG and we typed GG, so we thought, the game was just over. And then like suddenly I'm tanking tower somehow. I'm like dying to Jinx. Jinx like getting reset. It was, we might have lost game 3 if we lost that game 2. I'll be honest. My mental was a bit shattered.
Really? So because it was really close at the end there for GG being able to take that second game off of you. You think for sure with how FlyQuest has been, that if it was taken to a game 3, that it was just done over right there?
Oh no, I'm just like memeing a bit, but
Oh, okay. I was a little worried. You're worrying me, okay?
But it wasn't the best look for sure.
For sure. Well, at least things have been looking up. We'll put these games aside. In general for FlyQuest, considering the later half of Academy, you got that 6-0 Super Week. You and a couple of other individuals tweeted out about scaling up in time for Proving Ground. Are you still feeling confident heading into the resting Proving Ground about you and the team's performance?
Yeah, for sure. I think these weeks we've been getting really good records and scrims, and I think we're all playing really confidently, and I think we all know how to play the meta really well. So I'm not too worried about anyone we face. I think we could potentially win it all.
All right. And then talk to me about your teammates a little bit. Talk to me about why this group of individuals is a Proving Grounds winning team.
I just think they're all really talented mechanically, and I think Jalal or my mid and jungle have really stepped up compared to Spink for sure, and I think they've been just like really dominant as a duo and just taking over the maps usually. And also Kumo's really solid, like he's always getting leads by themselves. And me and Diamond have finally been stepping up and playing to our potential, so really happy with our progress.
I'm glad to hear that you're happy with the progress and how things are going for you guys. That's some good stuff. So to end off the interview, I wanted to get to know a little bit about you. So we're going to do some lightning round questions. I'm going to fire off a question, just a quick answer. Got about 5 or 6 of them. Super easy peasy stuff, okay?
Okay.
All right. First, favorite type of music?
Honestly, I don't really have a favorite type. I just listen to whatever's popular on the radio. So like whatever's like on a Billboard, top 100, whatever, I'll listen to that. I'm not really
All
that
right.
picky.
I realize asking about music first, that's actually kind of a complicated question for a lot of people. My bad. Second question, worst gift you've ever received?
Gifts? Wow, these are supposed to be fast, right? I don't. Worst gift? I don't know, like a book, because I don't really read, I guess.
Okay. If you win the lottery tomorrow, what are you going to do first thing?
Get a dog. I don't know.
All right. Follow-up fast question. What type of dog?
I like corgis. I like Shiba Inus. Yeah, probably one of those two.
Both good choices. I respect that. Biggest pet peeve?
Biggest pet peeve. Just like being tilted when you can still win the game, but like you're still talking about the play that's happening when you could be talking about like moving forward, like what we should do. Like something
Okay.
like still in the past, you know?
Yeah. No, that makes sense for sure. All right. If you could only have one meal for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Probably like a rice dish or like hot pot or something. Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
I like Asian food,
All right.
so probably something that's Asian.
All right. Good choices all around. I respect that. Last and final question. Who is going to win Proving Grounds?
FlyQuest Academy? For sure.
All right, glad to hear it. Tomo, thank you so much for sitting down and talking with me. All right. Have a great rest of your night.
Yeah. Take care.
Thank you. All right. Back over to our casters to talk.